Thursday. Hey, happy Thursday. This is Queen V. I am back again. We are continuing our money series. Some of y'all might be thinking, I'm so tired of hearing about this, but you need to know because there's been so much controversy about this issue. I just want to bring everything out, at least most of the basic points. So are y'all ready? So we've been talking about, we established the point that there are so many scriptures in the Old Testament and New Testament about God wanting us to prosper. Also, we went over the covenant, that we have a covenant of wealth. And if you don't know about those, just look at the previous videos. And then, we talked about some of those people that were wealthy in the Bible that served God. So what I want to talk about today is first things first. Now, there's been a lot of controversy over this too, and it's about tithing. And some people say, well, tithing is not for days under the old covenant. It's not for today. It was just for those people back then. And we're under grace, so we don't have to tithe. Because tithing was part of the old covenant, of the law. And so let me tell you this. Tithing was not a law. Tithing was a principle. So tithing came before the law. So before the law even was established, Cain and Abraham gave a tenth to Melchizedek. And then even in that, Jesus was like a tithe or a first fruit for us. So because he wanted more sons and daughters, he gave his only son. Okay? And so that was more of a first fruit. Now some people say first fruit and tithe are the same, but I say they're not. They're kind of the same, but it's a little bit different. Now, let's talk about this tithe. Now, it's been so much confusion all over the world about the tithe, and here are some statistics to prove it. So, let's look at it from a world standpoint. Okay, so from a world standpoint, Christians made $15.2 trillion in 1998, but they only gave $270 billion. Which is only 1.8%, nowhere near 10%. And then, okay, let's bring it to the United States. In the United States, you had Christians make $5.2 trillion altogether, but only $92 billion was given, which is only 1.7%. So imagine if everybody gave their tithe, how much help we could be to people, We had only less than 2% of people giving. And that's not good. Okay, Jesus talked about this money thing because money is actually a test of your heart. It's a test from God. There were 38 parables. I think either 16 to 18 of those parables talked about money. And then from the Bible, from a whole point of view with the Bible, you got over 500 scriptures about prayer, 500 scriptures about faith, but 2,000 or more about money or possessions. So this lets us know that God tests our hearts through our finances. And a lot of us want to argue, Money really does test hearts, because you can have a person get upset when you start talking about money, and noses start flaring up, and people just start showing their true colors when it comes to money. So God uses money to test our hearts, and we have to take heed to that. Tithe was not allowed, so an established principle. People say, well, I ain't got to tithe no more because I'm under grace. Well, that means you should do more. But tithing was not a law. It was an established principle. Like I said, Abraham, you got Abraham, And then you got Abel, it was more of a first fruit, but it was a tithe. And then the tithe was still mentioned in Hebrew. Talked about how Jesus is a priest forever under the order of Melchizedek. Okay, so don't be trying to get around what you know you need to do. And a lot of us are struggling because some of us struggle because we tithe only because we think it is the law, and so we do it under the feeling that we're going to get beat up if we don't. And then some of us say, well, we under grace, so we ain't got to tithe. But the tithe is not about the law. It ain't even the law. It's an established principle all throughout the Bible. So don't be trying to get away from that, y'all. Y'all be tripping. Oh, we on the law, so I ain't got to tithe no more. Well, what you're giving, okay, so say you stop tithing. But what you are giving, is it more than 10% or less than 10%? I mean, are you glad about the fact that you think you don't have to tithe and you happy about it? Are you happy about not giving? I mean, that's what it all boils down to. Some people, the only reason they fight the message about our covenant of wealth is because they know it involves giving and they don't want to give. They don't want to do that. That's a stretch for them. And so money represents a lot of times our blood, sweat, and tears. That's why God tests us with this. You know, it don't belong to us anyway. He made us a steward. And we look at our money as if this ain't ours. I'm handling somebody else's account. And if God say, okay, I'm going to give you all this money, I want you to handle it, just return the 10% back to me in an offering. And you can keep the rest and do whatever you want to do with it. So none of it is really ours. We're just a steward. And God is going to test your stewardship. What are you going to do with the little bit? Some people say, if I win the lottery, I'm going to pay my tithe. But you ain't paying a tithe off $10. The tithe off $10 is $1. The tithe from $100 is $10. So if you can't do that, then it ain't just going to all of a sudden happen because you get a larger sum of money. So we're gonna dig more into that, and we're gonna talk about giving to God. We're gonna talk about giving to the men and women that preach the word of God, rightly dividing it, because we're supposed to be doing that too. And we're gonna get into all of that, but I don't have time today. Tune in next week, and we're gonna get into this giving thing because some of y'all just don't want to give. That's why you don't like the message about money, because you don't want to give. That's just point blank. But we're going to get into it. Okay? God bless you. I love you, and I will see you next week. Bye. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and get this to someone. Get it to someone, because I know you know somebody that needs it. All right? Bye.